You're listening to Last Word Radio, where you get the last word.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Running Wild Podcast. I'm your co-host, Rich. Alongside me, as always, my co-host, Runz.
And I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm just a guy.
I really think that he used the wrong article there, by the way, because the would be so much better than a.
He said the, I said a. Come on, man. You just ruined everything. Jesus. This guy.
No,
Co-host doesn't watch the product, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I was going off your quote.
Yeah, that was just about me. I'm not Roman Reigns. Just a regular average Joe.
Oh, I see what you did there. All right, that's depressing. All right, so as a reminder to everybody out there,
I think it was early in the morning or something.
Just I'm a little distracted. Our little co-host is here. He's infatuated. Anyway, before I forget, just so you guys remember, we are being brought to you in partnership with lastwordonsports.com. You can go over there, click on their website. If you go over to the wrestling section, you'll catch a couple of my articles. Also, you can listen to us on iTunes. You can listen to us on Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud. You can listen to us on YouTube and watch a still image of our show. You can also catch us on the W2M network, which is Wrestling to the Max. You can follow them on Facebook. And just take a moment out to subscribe, leave a comment, rate us. That's kind of the support we need right now. You can email us directly for comments, questions at runningwildpodcast@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Twitter at runningwildlws. And you can follow me on Twitter at lwosrich. With that out of the way, let's get started with the show. So, what happened last week? It's kind of been a slow week.
I mean, it's cool that we're doing this after we watched Raw and, whatever, Red SmackDown. But because it gives you a little, hindsight of WrestleMania. And things that maybe you were upset with, like AJ Styles losing, now you're maybe a little more positive or a little more open to how that match ended. So it gives you the benefit of maybe looking back more fondly of WrestleMania, but we'll talk about that first, obviously.
So, one, I was very angry about the traffic on WrestleMania today, but when we finally got started with the pre-show, you want to go through it like that, just like start off and go in order.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing really on the pre-show that was relevant. Callisto beat Ryback in a nothing match. The Usos beat the Dudleys, right? That was a good match, but just literally exactly what we all expected. They splashed them through the tables to, close out that feud, or so we thought until Monday. But but then we did get the announcement from Lita about the women's belt, and that was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to wait for that till Monday, and I felt like the only thing that wasn't clear, or maybe I didn't hear it clearly, because I felt like it was just the division being rebranded and Charlotte being given the new belt. I did not know that she was technically winning the new belt, and I actually think that changed how the match played out because of that. Like if it was just her defending her belt against these two, I think maybe something different happens, or that's what I predicted. But with this idea that one of them was winning it, I feel like it makes more sense to have Charlotte win it the way they did, so then she can, defend it.
I think you're misremembering that, because as soon as we saw that, we both said, "Oh well, then Sasha Banks is winning." So,
When they announced the new belt, because I just felt like, what I mean is, and this is what I mean, like how their announcement of it changed, because I feel like on Monday when afterwards and Charlotte comes out and everything,
yeah,
it was made out like, okay, Charlotte won this belt last night. You get what I'm saying? And the way I thought it was going was she was simply defending it. So it changed, I think, how it played out. Like, if she was just defending it, then you have, because they've been chasing, then you have Sasha win. But if you're going to rebrand the division and have her win that belt, right? Like, it's like if Sasha would have won, Charlotte never lost the women's title. Charlotte lost the Divas title. Like, the Divas title was going away. Like, it was just meaning nothing.
no, but before WrestleMania, they said that this Charlotte's going to come out with the Divas belt, whatever. But this match is for the newly, appointed women's belt.
I thought she was defending it, though.
She wasn't the women's champion yet. She was still the Divas champion going into the match, and then the women's title was just on the line.
Okay.
So I mean, they switched it up from what everyone thought they would just do what they did on Monday, basically. Mm-hmm. But I think I heard because she was going on the Today Show, they wanted the new belt on the Today Show, so that's why they did it. Which that's fine. That makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
You want to make it seem more equal. You don't want to have the butterfly and then that beast WWE belt. You want to have your brand new women's version of, which is, in my opinion, nicer than the men's one.
I want to buy it and just pry off the WO.
Yeah, just like scratch that out or something. But oof, that thing is fresh. And yeah, I mean, when Charlotte, the whole match, I thought Sasha would end up winning, but it made total sense for Charlotte to hang on to it. Ric Flair cheated Sasha, so she has her rematch, or she has her match with her. That's guaranteed, and you give Charlotte now that extra just edge to talk shit and be the bitchy character that she's become, which is phenomenal, and they do a great job playing that role.
I think she did a great job on Monday Night Raw. I mean, the match was that was the best. That's easy. That's the best women's match at WrestleMania ever.
There's got to be a Trish Lita that would rival that, but yeah, I mean,
I don't think
my favorite.
But if you look back at it, I don't think the
pace is very different, and that's what we've grown to become, learned or just grown up with now. So, that's definitely more entertaining, and I think because of NXT, we are so much more invested in these three than any other diva or any other superstar now. I'm sorry. There's no other woman on the roster that I'm more invested in character or person-wise than Sasha and Charlotte. Like, the Total Diva stuff is entertainment. I still feel like people are putting on a show. And I never got into them because for years or my entire life, I've been told that the women on the show don't matter. So now NXT gave me that these women do matter. So now when they're on Raw, I still feel like these particular ones really matter. Everyone else,
Yeah, I mean, I fall asleep a lot on Monday nights, and I have to
Sunday
watch
nights, Saturday nights, Friday nights.
Listen to me.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
WrestleMania falling asleep does not count.
Oh no, right? I'm not counting that.
Because I, in my head, said this event has until 11:15, and they effed themselves. I couldn't. But anyway, I end up, watching Raw in the morning or whatever, and I do a lot of fast forwarding. I don't fast forward through the Divas segments like ever anymore, and
not when they're involving two or more of those divas.
Oh yeah, like if it was like Natty versus Naomi, I don't know. I like Naomi's shoes, but I don't really stop for it.
No, Natty kind of just fast forwards it for me.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
But your TJ wishes he could fast forward in life.
And rewind.
Yeah. Oh, that'd probably be more effective for him. So that was the Divas. I mean, I thought the match was fantastic. Charlotte's just great. Actually, the Mania match made me think in some ways that maybe there's a part of me that would almost rather see Becky take the title off Charlotte and then
No.
and then Sasha win it in a friendly, because the reason I'm saying this is because I feel like once Sasha wins it, Becky's, I don't know, they're all young, I guess. I think
Yeah, I mean, Becky has a spot. There's a spot for her. There's more than one women's segment on the show, these weeks. So there'll be a spot for her most of the time. And she's so good that there'll be a spot. But now I forgot what I was gonna say. Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all right. We have our little co-host chiming in here with his thoughts. Apparently, he likes Sasha Banks.
Oh.
Yeah, see, you like Sasha Banks, right? All right, Charlie.
Yes.
What about
yes.
Becky Lynch? You like Becky Lynch?
Yes. Oh, he just gave a thumbs up. He just gave a hexagon
he did.
Thumbs up.
Oh. What about Charlotte, Charlie? You like Charlotte?
No,
Yeah,
he's like,
so, right? Yeah. Okay. I agree.
Okay, adios. Bye.
All right. That was our expert, or what is he? 1 year, 5 months? 1 year, 4 months?
Yep. StatBaby.
Yeah, StatBaby. Our wrestling prodigy.
So that was amazing.
Yes, but I think you're missing the bigger picture. Like, yes, I understand what you're saying about Becky getting skipped over right now, but Sasha is right now, she is the babyface. Like, she is it,
Yeah.
And so she needs to be the one to stop the evil reign of Charlotte and counter Ric Flair or whatever the case, and then her and Becky can have a little rivalry, whatever. But Sasha needs to be the one. And then maybe you have Bayley by that point when Sasha is done come up and Sasha turns on her. Sasha becomes the heel. Bayley is the white meat, and then you go from there.
So what do you have? I mean, there's no way they have enough time to. I'm just thinking because it would be. Imagine how sick it would be if they were before the main event, Bayley versus Sasha at SummerSlam, a year after main event. Almost the main event, NXT, in the same building.
Okay. I want you to know that I was just rocking back and forth in my chair, and as soon as you started to say it, I just immediately came to a dead stop. Wow, you nailed it. That would be amazing. If they opened up SummerSlam. Oof. Wow.
Yeah, everyone that would be so over.
Wow. And then Sasha wins, and then in year 3 they do it again.
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to go to Cape Cod for SummerSlam weekend. It's gonna be great.
Hopefully, I will be there.
Literally, I'm gonna be on the beat. I'm gonna be the commercial for SummerSlam.
You're forcing me. I'm gonna have to go to NXT with friends from work. Oof.
This is very depressing, but I don't want to dwell on that.
Great timing for family vacay.
Yeah.
Yes. So now that we've divulged there enough.
So we got the women covered. We got the pre-show covered. How about we start with we go forward with the next match, the first match of the evening, the IC title match.
I mean, it was what we hoped for. maybe a little bit more. I mean, we know these ladder matches are going to be awesome, and every year or so now, there's a different influx of high flyers and creative guys that are in those matches, and Sami Zayn stole the show, and I was just like, yeah, like, yo, have your fucking moment, man. Like, that shit was so ill. Like, the flip through the ladder was retarded in itself, and then the dive through the turnbuckles immediately after.
All right, on a just.
Ugh.
I don't know what level I want to say. All right, I don't know I'm going to preface this statement, but the dive through the ladder, like, almost made me angry, because it was just like, but why? Why wouldn't you just move it? Like I get a lot of the stuff they do, but that one was just like, I don't.
Okay, but now here is the best part of that I didn't catch until the second, third time I watched it. Now, when Sammy gets up, no one else is in the ring, and the ladder is against the ropes, and he starts to position it, right? He starts to pull it, and the Miz comes and grabs one side and pulls it back, and then, like, he gets the other side and he starts pulling it back, and then Sammy kicks him, and that's just where the ladder is. So then he's like, all right, fuck it, and then he goes and he jumps through the ladder. So the Miz grabbing it and them having that little struggle just, covered that spot that usually the guy just was like, all right, let me position the ladder here for no reason, so it was really well executed.
I didn't catch that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this match, like, okay, so funny sidebar, I write for the last word on sports.com, and a lot of guys were away for the event, so when it came time to do our picks, usually they take, like, everybody gets like one match, and that one gets put on. You never know which match it'll be, so you write up for every match. Well, unfortunately, this for Wrestlemania, I was the only one to send stuff in. So the article gets published, and it's just my picks, which I never want to happen, like, ever. But I think that the article will stand as a living monument for me as to how much fun this Wrestlemania was for me. And it starts with this match. I mean, this was the match that I actually had written a full-length article for on my own, going through every guy, why they would or wouldn't win, and I lost my shit when Zack Ryder won.
I mean, it's funny that, like, the two guys that we put, like, 3 and 4 or whatever, mm-hmm. and we're like, well, this guy might have more of a chance. So then this guy were the two guys that it ultimately came down to. I mean, realistically, it came down to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but we'll touch on that in a minute. The execution was brilliant. Like, when Zayn took out Owens and then the Miz took out Zayn, I was like, really? Yeah. The Miz?
Really?
Like, he's gonna win this match?
Really?
And then, right, like, they do such a good job of the close-up that, watching on TV, you don't see Ryder. So all you see was, like, him push him off, and it was crazy. And then you realize, like, you have that brief second where it's like, wait a minute, like, he's actually gonna win this. And then he grabs it, and, like, you stood up, like, to cheer, and then, like, at mid-stand, like, looked at me, and I was just, like, mouth wide open, jaw dropped, and you just, like, did the same thing and just, like, slowly sat back down. Like, it was just pure shock. It was crazy. And what an awesome moment, just hey, yeah, you've been busting your ass, we're gonna give you this. And maybe that's not what it came down to. Maybe it came down to who's going to pop the crowd the most. But, hey, he's earned that recognition.
Oh, totally. I mean, we could go into detail for about how he's been wronged so many times and how he single-handedly got himself amazing, popularity just through use of social media. I mean, he
single-handedly won that Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. because if it wasn't for him, he would have never been this well liked or well known.
And he taught WWE how to use social media.
Yeah. And I don't remember what it was, but like somebody was saying like, oh, Zack, like, Zack Ryder, go get yourself over. And then he starts YouTube, and Vince is like, what the hell is this? Like, oh yeah, he's got 10 million followers on YouTube. Like, what? But not for us? Oh, that's it. He's buried. That's crazy. That just because he did what you asked him to do on his own, that? You punish him for that.
What was that app? What was that app again? I had it. I can't remember now. Not video. The stupid video app, like the social media thing that they backed.
I have no idea.
He shouldn't be on YouTube. He should be on whatever it was.
Whatever it was. But yeah, so I mean, then what follows on Monday? We knew Ryder wasn't hanging on to the title past Monday. It was just a matter of who's he losing it to.
Good for you. I'm glad you knew that.
When it was The Miz, I was like, really? Okay, maybe he's gonna hang on to this thing. And then The Miz won, and it came down to Maurice coming back, and I was just like, you know what? I'm immediately a fan of The Miz. Immediately. His character becomes solidified in my eyes because now his smoking hot bitchy wife is here, and it just backs up like all the smack he talks. Like it makes me dislike him even more as a heel. You know what I mean? So it just made me like The Miz immediately.
Oh, it wouldn't work if she wasn't as hot.
No,
I don't think
and the French accent and just her smugness, it helps his.
Yeah. I mean, like, for example, I think that Brie is really a bitch. Right? Like, I just feel like she is. And I don't think if it was her coming out, it would be the same effect. Like,
No. She doesn't look the part.
Like, Maurice looks like such... Like, I don't know if they're... I'm trying to remember because like Sherry was just awful. Like I'm trying to think of a, okay. The only person
Sherry was very good, but Sherry was like Sherry and Luna were like nasty. Like,
oh yeah,
Maurice is.
Okay,
when just hold on. I mean, I have to like The Miz, man. I don't know how you did it, but God bless you, man. From the real world to this, whew.
I think that's what happens. He's a Cleveland Browns fan, so
I don't know, man. I don't. God bless him.
Fans get help from God.
He's doing something right.
The thing, like, I'm trying to think of the last female. Okay, like Lita. One thing about Lita that I thought. No, what I was gonna say was Lita was like had like good facial expressions and like she's kind of like carried her body in a bitchy way, but her voice to me never allowed her to get to that next level. Like it was just too chill. All right. However, Trish Stratus, when there was that whole Jericho Trish thing, and then she turned on him and went with Christian at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Like that was effective.
Or like when she was with like Vince.
Yeah. Or
but I don't know. See, maybe it's also just now like the women seem more important in my eyes, and like Maurice was always good, and I always did like Maurice, and her theme song used to play all the time in that old WWE game, and it was miserable. So I think
miserable,
that made me
amazing. If that's an accident, that's just amazing. I'm sorry.
That really was an accident, and quite a happy one.
Oh,
but yeah, I mean, it just made me like The Miz more, and it made him seem more important in my eyes. So it worked out. The angle worked, and good for them that they had that in their pocket and they got it over.
Oh, I just remember the other person that I hated as much as Trish was Eve, and that was because she kicked. Like, I mean, I know that nobody else cared as much. It was just me because I'm a writer, Mark.
I wonder if it speaks to just like my overall mindset. But every diva that you mentioned, the first image that popped in my head was like happy-go-lucky character. not the nasty evil.
Oh,
Like
okay.
like when you said Lita,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
wait, why the hell do you hate Lita? She was with the Hardys. She was awesome. Why the hell do you hate Trish? She was just fantastic. Oh, Eve, like I just pictured the smiling, holding up the belt, and then
Okay.
it took me a second, like, oh, like sex show Lita, and oh, nasty Vince Trish, and oh yeah, it's kicking Zack Ryder in the face, Eve.
Yeah, apparently Mean Divas really cut home. Hit home deep, hit home. Cut deep. All right, so that was a
But
really odd foray.
but back to the speaking of cutting deep,
Yeah.
the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, that's just a feud that does not need the title, and I I just let them fight for 2 years. Let them fight till next WrestleMania.
I mean, if they, I
You can go on and off. You can have a tag. Just do the ROH storyline. I don't care.
yeah, I mean, I'm actually fine with them doing that. Of course, it's just gonna
I
make
don't
me.
care.
It's gonna make me just because like Kevin Owens is gonna do extra stuff for me to really hate him. Like I just liked him just because he turned on Generico. Like that was enough for me. Like for him to do more, and like with his TV time and more mic time, like oh my god.
Everything worked out and in his favor, kind of like Zayn got signed first, so that gave him something else to say when he got there, and Zayn won the belt first, so that gave him something else, and now he got to the main roster, so he can rub that in his face, and now Zayn came and is threw him out of the Rumble and cost him this match and cost him this match, cost him the IC belt, so everything is just perfect. I don't think they can ever do any wrong in my eyes. They're just perfect.
Do you think at this point, like Zayn really hates Owens? He's like, you know what, man? I'm just fucking sick of you doing this shit to me. Why are you such an asshole? Like he's taking the kayfabe to heart. Like after all these years of running the same angle, maybe he's like, yo, I think Kev's really a jerk. I would. I wouldn't put it past Owens. Like maybe Owens at this point just straight says kayfabe when he's like Zayn is sitting down eating, he walks by like in like catering and he just fucking knocks his plate over.
Nah, they're still boys, and that's what makes it even better. Because they fought in front of 10 people when they started out, and now they fought in front of 101,000. That had to have been like a holy shit, bro. Like that had to be crazy for them. Like looking at the same guy that you've been looking at for the past 20 years, that's crazy. Crazy. You both made it, and you made it there because of each other. Straight up. Because without the other, neither one of them is anything.
I mean, yeah. These guys have been friends for so long, it's got to be, realistically, all jokes aside, it's got to be amazing for them just to be able to do this. Just play out exactly the same thing they've done and hone it and be able to talk about it and enjoy it and then because they're being put on these bigger stages to be able to enjoy it together at the same time is just
exactly like they're Sami Zayn's first feud on the main roster is Kevin Owens. And I mean realistically we go till at least SummerSlam with this.
Yeah, I have
and have a big, huge blow off at SummerSlam. I don't know, might be too long, but we'll see.
Hey,
they can go on and off a little bit.
I mean, I know it works obviously differently, very differently, but I was just listening to Cole Cabana's podcast with my boy, the last real man, Silas Young, and
I felt like it was rather short, by the way.
Yeah,
but continue. Like they got to the end, and I was just like, "Wait, what? I didn't hear anything."
Yeah, I just loved how he was talking about how him and Dalton Castle have been able to have a feud for a year, and I think that that's
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, definitely different because they're not always on the same show or wrestling, but you can do the same thing. You can just separate them a little bit,
All right, and of course on Monday night,
woo, baby, Kevin Owens, the KO show, baby.
Even when he decide, like it's almost like when he did that, It's like you're not even gonna win. You're just being a jerk to Sammy. All right.
It brought back everything that you hate about Kevin Owens.
Like, I was so excited that Sami Zayn was involved in this match, and then like, I was super hyped. And then I told you I had to fast forward, right? So I'm fast forwarding in the morning, and I get to and like Cesaro, and I'm like, what? So I had originally missed. So I go back, and it's like, I'm cranky in the morning. So it's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like rewinding, and then I'm like, this son of a fuck, like
Even
I'm just
better.
so angry. It like made my day start like in a awful way.
That's fantastic. I wish Kevin Owens, when you listen to this, please, just tweet me, just direct message me since we're boys. But just holler at me, let me know what you think, because you've ruined this man's day, maybe life. It's amazing to watch.
I mean, yeah, he really does though, because like every once in a while, he'll just tweet something nasty. Like even when they weren't like feuding, like he was just looking while Sammy was recovering and everything. Like he would just randomly like post a picture of like doing something mean, and like he would just say something mean, and I'm like, you know what? That's not needed. Like you guys aren't even like wrestling right now. Like stop being a jerk.
Just keeping that feud alive, man. Never letting people forget.
All right, so then
yeah, that does it for the IC match.
Yeah. Do we have any more matches? Yeah. All right, so I guess we could go with the. You want to go with the League of Nations stuff?
Yeah, is that what came on next?
I can't recall the order of the show.
I think it is actually.
Not only
they
the
need
most
like a slowdown.
Not only the most packed WrestleMania, not with the quickest match ever, but also the longest goddamn WrestleMania ever. Like I'm officially not watching all of the WrestleManias, like every part of every WrestleMania next year, because to finish 31 of them, and then have to watch 7 hours on the last one, it's gonna break me.
Well, 7 hours is a stretch because you don't have to watch the pre-show at all.
All right, so
and the Mania does not feel like 5 hours. That shit flew by for me. From Ryder win. Okay. So the IC title match was great. Ryder wins, makes it even crazier. That was it for me. I was good. Everything else I enjoyed the hell out of. I didn't care that Jericho won. It was a great match. Oh, that was the next match. I knew League of Nations was gonna win. Everything else, every match was good. There was something good or really enjoyable about the match. All the celebrity or legend stuff was good to me. It was entertaining. It was different than just being in the ring cutting promos like usual. So I enjoyed the hell out of it. Everything on Mania I thoroughly enjoyed. So it doesn't feel. I've watched it like 3 times. I didn't watch.
I was really surprised by Jericho winning.
I mean, me too, and that's what made it better. Like I called it when he was going for the forearm. I knew it. It was obvious. It was set up, but it was good. It made sense. AJ beat him the last time. AJ begged him for this match. Be careful what you wish for. You don't know who you're dealing with. I like that. It made sense in this story, and usually it doesn't. If this didn't make sense in the storyline, I would have been pissed. But it makes sense, and it makes sense for both of their characters. Now, winning at WrestleMania isn't the be-all, end-all. Like Fandango beat Jericho. I had another example before that. Now I can't. Mysterio beat CM Punk. Like certain things don't matter.
That kind of story.
That one Mania match doesn't make or break you. And then the next night we see that Styles beats 3 of the most over guys in the company and gets his title shot. So be easy.
All right. Do you want to just talk about Cesaro's return here because it relates to AJ?
Well, yeah, because we can talk about that.
What do you think about the tearaway suit? Do you think
that was great?
Is this a permanent thing? Is he always going to come out in that thing? Please.
I think that was just like to mess with The Rock. The Rock had the tearaway pants, so he had a tearaway suit and the glasses and everything. But I thought it was good. It was really funny. It was strange though because well, it turned out well. But at first the crowd was like, "Wait, what? He's not wrestling?" And like they got quiet, and then he broke out. He tore off the suit, and everyone went nuts. But I love Cesaro. I was thrilled to see him back. At first I thought it would be Balor, but when it was Cesaro, I was not disappointed.
What do you think happens? Like, what is he gonna end up doing?
I don't know. Maybe he can feud Jericho now.
Okay, I like that.
Jericho's over. Jericho's the man, so that'll be fine.
I was really happy to see Cesaro back.
Yeah.
I just
And
want to watch all the ROH guys, basically.
and
That's
what
all I want to watch.
And what a perfect time. Like everyone, there's no Cena, there's no Orton right now. Rounds is, I don't know how long away, but soon. So this is he would have been in a big spot at Mania had he been healthy. So I'm glad to see him return, and he looked good. He's ready to go.
Who's coming back soon? Who's been away for about 60 days?
Titus O'Neil.
Yeah. He's gonna get. I predict he gets pushed to the moon, but that's just.
We'll see. Like on like all the Xavier Woods stuff, like they picked Titus O'Neil to wrestle, and like Tyler Breeze was just randomly playing his music on his phone. It was really weird.
All right, so we got the AJ match,
and so we can talk about AJ with that. I mean, winning the Fatal 4-Way on Monday, and going into this feud and storyline with Roman Reigns. That seems to me like the start of the heel turn for Roman Reigns.
The best part about AJ winning was the Young Bucks responding to him on Twitter because they saw him crying after he won, like the Raw post show.
Uh-huh.
And they did a video where they like just zeroed in on him crying, and they wrote some text. They're like, the real reason AJ's crying, and then it's just a video, like a video that they play, like a little clip they played like 3 times or more than 3 times of him getting super kicked by both of them at the same time. I think it was like when he got kicked out of the Bullet Club when he was leaving, and they just did it like just so many times, and then just went back to him crying again.
They did the same thing with Wade Barrett. Like Matt tweeted at him like, "Don't worry, bro, we never do that to you." And then Nick tweeted at Matt like, and he put the video of them doing it to Styles. And I was just like, "Oh man, that's great."
I love that they will respond. Like they don't ignore WWE.
No, they just fuck with everyone because they know that like most people can't tweet them back or won't. So it's awesome. But now here's my question. Do you think that Reigns could have a very similar Baron Corbin storyline on the main roster, where he's just wrestling against the indie darlings and the internet, icons and beating them, and that's really going to make people dislike him? Ooh. If he beats Styles and he beats Cesaro and he beats Ambrose again and he fights Owens, and then all right, I'll finish this thought in the main event, but let me hear, your thoughts on that.
I mean, I think it's just a matter. I didn't think that deeply into what he's going, what he's going to do in terms of like continuing to irritate the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I didn't really have a clear-cut thought on what I think is going to happen with AJ and Reigns because I'm waiting to see their interaction next week and how.
They had a small one on SmackDown.
Because it's not going to be a slow turn, right? I mean, once they fight,
it could be because on SmackDown, and I don't know because they fuck with the SmackDown audio, but like people were cheering Reigns on SmackDown. Yeah. And, they were cheering AJ Styles on SmackDown, and they shook hands, and, they talked about that. But Reigns was definitely, like, condescending, with I'm the guy, and you got to beat the guy. And I'm the champ, you're not. You got to have this belt to be the champion. So I think it could be, not a slow, not a quick, but just, a couple months.
To be
Maybe he
so,
has one or two feuds before it's like official. He sides with Triple H or something like that.
all right. I mean, I hope that I honestly don't want to see Triple H and Stephanie for a while.
I don't mind seeing them, but I'm definitely more interested by Vince.
Oh, clearly.
So I mean, we could talk about that when we get to that match too. But I like the direction that they seem to be going with Reigns, and I'm sure they're setting me up for failure, like John Cena, for the past 10 years, where I'm just gonna keep thinking the heel turn is coming, and it never ever does. But I'm along for the ride. You got me. I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into it.
Got my seatbelt on. I'm ready to go.
All right.
The thoughts of him feuding with Ambrose and then, never mind. Okay. Yeah. So then I guess we have the League of Nations and New Day, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't surprising, especially. I mean, what was surprising was that they decided not to have all four men. It was announced as a 4-on-3. Like, it was very weird that they decided to change it at the last minute.
I really just wonder if like they did that to fuck with Barrett. Like, nope, you're not going to get the payday. You're not going to get the wrestler's payday on your way out. You're going to get the manager's pay, and then you're going to get a beating and see you later.
Yeah, they're really burying him before he leaves, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, or he stays and he's a hot baby face. I don't know, but they won without him, and then so that could be a reason why they did it. Because they won the match without him, and then they lost with him. So I don't know.
And then at the end of the match, I mean, the New Day's entrance was amazing. They were like Super Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z.
Bootios.
The giant bootios. Everything was just really great. And then afterwards, you had the legends come out.
The legends. I mean, you didn't have the legends come out. You had two of the top three all time, and then Mick Foley, who was up there with them. You had some of the best of the best. And to see HBK in gear and in shape, and then Austin looking good and actually getting physical, that was great. Absolutely great.
Every
Foley,
stunner
in great shape.
Every stunner he gave, I was scared that his like C5 and C4 were like hitting into each other.
It was crazy to see him handing out the stunners, but like it was great to see them, just clear out League of Nations and whatever. But then to see HBK and Foley dancing, and Xavier Woods and Stone Cold's interaction. Another thing I didn't see, like Woods, Big E and Kofi, like when Woods was trying to get Stone Cold to dance, they were like, yo, like chill, like nah, like you're pushing it, like stop. And then he kept going, and then Stone Cold started dancing, and they were like, oh shit, all right, okay. And then he stunned them, and it was just like, oh man, good stuff.
I was trying to think, like, it's got to be amazing for Xavier, obviously, to be able to interact with Stone Cold that way. And then I don't know why my mind went this way, so I was like, which guy that we watch now would it be crazy, like, if somehow like they hit you with their finishing move? I just thought, like, imagine if like legit, like you're going to tie your shoe or something, like bend over in your room, Randy Orton just boom out of nowhere, like actually catches you out of nowhere. I don't even know if I'd be mad. Like, I'd just pop. I'd be like, oh my god!
I mean, if you were trying to tie your shoe, that wouldn't be too hard of a fall. But
well, okay,
yes,
but,
I get what I would not like to get bro kicked. Just like walking down the street, a bro kick out of nowhere. I would not.
No,
be,
clearly,
I would
by
not
the way,
be happy.
It's not just walking down the street. Like you have to open a door. Like
well,
that works better.
Kick.
Yeah,
there's no like it's
you open the door and then bro kick. I would
just
be
anything.
I would be paralyzed like Truth Martini, like Sold being paralyzed by Donovan Dijak's bro kick. That would happen. I would be paralyzed.
Just straight, just knocked out. Probably
it
go
would
flying.
even be hard for him to take my head off.
Is it so short?
Exactly. All right. Yeah, no, I loved it. The only bad part about Shawn Michaels coming out was my wife, who historically thinks that Shawn Michaels is boring and makes me angry about it every time. Every time. So,
Well, see, and another funny thing about this is that we didn't talk about who won, and that's how much it matters. Because it doesn't.
true.
The match itself was good. The result made sense, and the aftermath was entertaining. And then on Raw, we got the follow up tag team match, which the New Day won, and they wiped out Barrett. The Wyatts came out, and that's it. We move on from the League of Nations, and New Day moves forward.
Who do you think they move forward to?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Who I
Should
don't
we,
know. I couldn't name any heel tag team on the main roster other than the Social Outcast. So maybe the Revival comes up.
I mean, wow, that would be crazy.
I don't know.
They'd be interesting because they're just so. They kind of like
So
represent.
heelish.
Yeah, they're like that perfect
Yeah.
boring heel, and New Day's that entertaining face. So it would be great.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be
They
interesting to watch
really
next
would
week.
be.
Like this Raw
Yep.
made next week's Raw like almost, to borrow a
Must see.
phrase. Yeah, I was actually gonna say, to borrow a phrase from the Miz.
Terrible.
All right. So then after that one, after the New Day match, talked about the Divas match already. What do we have? The
Ambrose
why am I-
Lesnar.
Oh, Ambrose Lesnar. I don't know why I didn't see this coming. There was I don't know. As the event got closer, there was a part of me that thought that Ambrose, I thought Ambrose was going to pull it out, and that did not occur. So I felt like I didn't like the ending. I mean, I understand all those chairs were there and everything, but it felt a little too quick for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree that the match felt a little quick when we first watched it. Watching it back, it felt a little bit longer, but I the entire time leading up to this match, I was emphatic that Ambrose was going to win. I felt he should. I felt he could. I felt he would. But then I watched the Hall of Fame. And at the Hall of Fame, Renee Young interviewed Dean Ambrose, maybe on the red carpet beforehand, whatever it was.
I remember that. Yeah.
And he said, I don't have to win. And then he kind of stopped and he said something else. And I was like, wait a minute. He just said he doesn't have to win. That doesn't matter. And I was just like, oh, well, clearly he's losing because he just said he doesn't have to win. So he's putting over the fact that he doesn't need to win to be successful. Then he's doing that for a reason because he knows he's losing. And then as soon as I heard that, I was like, wow, well, you know what? It makes sense for Brock to win. Like, Brock is a monster. So whatever. And it was a little bit of a squash, but I can't be mad because it's not like Brock hasn't squashed everyone. So that's fine. Hopefully Ambrose somehow eventually gets his payback and he'll get a win. And that will mean something because he got killed the last time.
Yeah. I mean, Brock's going to be away for a while now. What do you do with Dean?
Another good question.
This is why the next week's Raw is almost like, it's really like Wrestlemania Raw
Yeah,
1B.
he wasn't on Raw. So, now you get most of the debuts out, or you get some of the unimportant debuts because maybe you want to single one out later on. And, you get a chance to see where they're going. Because, I don't know, what heels do they have that could feud with Ambrose? Are the Wyatts faces now after that League of Nations stuff? Or are we just going to keep doing heel versus heel? I don't know. So, that kind of takes them out of it. Who is it? Like, put him in the ring with someone like Corbin? But Corbin is with Ziggler. Owens is with Zayn. Reigns is with Styles. So you have Cesaro, you have Jericho, you have Ambrose.
Right back.
After he lost to Kalisto? maybe.
True.
But putting Ambrose in there with another big guy. Oh, here you go. All right, so on SmackDown, wow, look at this. Answers our question for us. Ambrose beats Tyler Breeze, and as he's exiting the ring, Jericho comes down for his match, and they have like a little interaction
Okay.
on the entranceway. So there we go.
All
So
right.
that makes sense. That's I like that. So
What do
now
you-
we
what'd you
got to
call
find
this
a
again?
place for Cesaro. What?
SmackDown.
Yeah,
Okay.
SmackDown.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. It has a blue logo. It's pretty nice.
Whoa, like a fist? Is there a fist coming through like the stage?
No, that would be a good idea though.
I'm gonna call them.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed the Ambrose match. I mean,
Yeah. All right. Oh, see, even better. Like Jericho's walking down, and he like stops. Ambrose walks like right next to him and is just grilling him, and Jericho just like keeps looking forward and just smiles and then just walks. That was good.
all right. So
Sorry.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So then what? Shane Undertaker, right? We only have 2 matches left, I think.
Yes, and the battle royal in between. But yeah, so
I mean, the battle royal I can spend like 4 minutes on.
well, Shane Taker was, in my mind, better than I expected. Shane's not a wrestler, so it was going to be a fight. Taker's old, so it was going to be not really quick paced. So I wasn't expecting much from this match. I did not expect Shane to jump off the top of the cell, and that was really all I needed to see. I liked the end where like Taker just kind of patted him on the face, like, yeah, nice try, and pinned him. But I think this match is the reason, or this angle is the reason for Brock Ambrose being so quick and like, because you couldn't have Ambrose fight back, and you couldn't have Ambrose tell Brock to keep it coming and do it, because that would have destroyed Shane's spot doing that.
Yeah.
You couldn't have two guys do it. And, you picked the wrong guy to do it, but whatever. I get why you did that.
Is there ever a way, like, at this point, I don't think anybody could do anything to kind of top that Mania moment without death. Right? Like, because, like, really, you're if you do anything crazier than what Shane did, you're risking death.
That was nuts. Like, I did the sign of the cross before Shane did. Like, I was just like, please. And then he did it. I was like, oh, see, look, yeah, he did it. That's why. And,
I was super excited. I remember one time I went to go to Columbus Circle. I went to a park down at by Mass Square Garden. I forget the name of it right now, because David Blaine was standing on a pole, and then he was going to jump down into just a pile of cardboard boxes. And he stood for like 3 days or something, and then was jumping down. And I remember I went there because I kind of wanted to see the carnage, and that's kind of what happened when Shane got to the top. I got giddy. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so crazy!"
I was nervous. I was straight up nervous. Like, yo. And then like that roller coaster like rush that you get when he's just falling through the air is just whew.
It was really crazy.
Man,
Sorry,
like, you can die. You missed that table, it's over. And then he hit the table, and like it exploded. Oh man, whew. That was good. Just Shane, you're the man. Thank you. That was crazy.
Yeah. And do you think he sticks around? Do you think?
Well,
like,
okay. So now we can
week?
get into Raw, where this match meant nothing to the angle because Shane McMahon ran Raw for the week. Now I don't mind because it's wrestling, so like whatever, stupid stuff like that happens. But like the way it was done, I really enjoyed it because the crowd was chanting, "Let him run it," and Vince just was like, "All right, fine, let's see what you got," and left. Like that was good. It was just like, yeah, okay, he's gonna crash and burn. I'm not being around. So now Shane popped the ratings and threw together a great show. So now what do? You know, does he still feud? Maybe he fights Triple H, and they have a feud for Raw or SmackDown, whatever. And then you go off that. You know, yes, it would, you know, kind of make the WrestleMania match and stuff be whatever, but you know, that's okay. It's wrestling, and in the real world, certain things like that, you know, control of a company isn't put on the line, but a guy gets fired and loses his chance, and then runs another company or something like that. So stuff happens.
Yeah, I never thought of. I don't know why I didn't think that wrestling could just do whatever they wanted, and put Shane there. Like it just looks like, oh, I forgot. It's wrestling, and they can do whatever they want. So, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what happens. I don't want to see Shane versus Triple H. Like I said, I don't want to see Triple H. I would actually just like Vince to come back and be like, you know what, you guys are in charge now. And maybe I'm still hoping for a roster split so that later on Stephanie and Triple H come back and they're angry and he gives them,
like,
you know, like
we have to. Yeah, we have to get there somehow. That's why I'm saying maybe he does give Shane control for another week, and then whatever, he gives him control for a month and 2 months, and then Stephanie and Triple H come back, and then they have that match, and then it's for the brand split, and it's for control of a show, and then we get that angle and that payoff that we couldn't get from Shane beating Taker.
All right. By the way, there's a part of me that wants to know if Stephanie calls Triple H Paul or Hunter. Like if she's just said it so much on air that like she's just like Hunter.
Nah, definitely
you forgot
Paul.
Oh, come
Definitely
on.
Paul.
Isn't there a part of you that want like Hunter?
Nah,
I left this in the house.
No, because wrestlers are so much better at separating that than we are, you know. And yes, there are times that on interviews and all of that, they're able to do that. But off the air, sometimes they go by whatever's more comfortable. But for them, they're in the business world. You know, he's not Hunter in the board meetings.
So you're saying that she doesn't when her daughters act up, she's like, "You're punished."
I mean, I'm sure she actually talks like that, so I'm sure it comes out at some point, you know.
Get out of my bathroom.
Yeah, but like that's what you hear guys say, like, you know, like, oh, he was cutting a promo on me, but like they were just like really like yelling or giving a speech, and they just call it cutting a promo. So there's definitely times that like they're just like, yo, like, babe, stop cutting a promo on me, jeez. You know, like, whoa, I didn't know if you were the character or my wife.
Oh man, it would be great if they just like randomly say mean things to their kids to get cheap heat.
Yo, but see, I was just gonna say mean things to each other, and Triple H is just like, oh, you know what? Leave the bitch in the ring, all right? And then Jeff's like, oh.
Or the kids, she's like, you guys want ice cream? Too bad. You're getting asparagus. Boo! Listen, this is best for your health.
Yes. I would do that to if my mom hated Daniel Bryan, I would do that all the time. Like, you know, just to mess with her. But yeah, so.
All right, and then the what is there? There's the Battle Royal. Which I had put down a mystery person win, and then, you know, Corbin came in and he won, and I was fine with it. I was happy that it wasn't somebody who we've kind of seen, and I think that it established, you know, puts him in that big man kind of category. So, you know.
And I think that it was even better that he came in with everyone else and didn't get his own entrance. Because if he got his own entrance, you would have known something was up. But this way, you really, unless you saw him when they showed a little close up of him walking in, I don't think you saw him on that walk-in, so I don't think you really knew. But
I was too hyped for Tatanka.
Yeah, then we saw Tatanka in there, so
I was like, what?
It was a cool. Shaq was awesome. I really enjoyed that stuff. Everyone throwing them out was good because then that got rid of the two biggest guys, and it was just a free for all. So I enjoyed it, and I like that they put it on the show to give Baron Corbin that spotlight, because if they didn't think highly of Corbin, they gladly could have left it on the pre-show and just let whoever was watching that know who Baron Corbin was. But that tells me they have some decent plans for this guy, and I'm like we said Saturday night or Saturday morning, we're fans of Baron Corbin right now. So
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought his promo on Raw was really fucking good, and it was definitely more Baron Corbin than Raw writers. And I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the hell out of it, man. I'm looking forward to what he does. And now you have Apollo Crews on the main roster too, and they've been feuding, so you could always, he's fighting Ziggler now, but he always has that card to play too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting going forward. I mean, I don't have like a lot to say about the performance and everything, but I was happy with Monday Night Raw. I was happy with him getting the count out. I was just kind of pleased with everything. I'm going to kill my dog.
Sorry. See, now I heard people like complain about the Raw stuff, like, oh, he should have like dominated Ziggler and killed him, but like why? Then we complain about Ziggler not getting killed, but Ziggler's a former champion. He put up a hell of a fight, and Corbin got counted out because he was being brutal and beating him up on the outside, and not just in the ring being stupid. And then afterwards, he said, "Okay, all right, fine. This one's on you, ref." And he hit him with the end of days on the outside. So, I mean, what more could you really hope for?
Oh, it was great. It was really well done, and it makes him look legitimate. And whether or not people know him from NXT, I think he's in 2 days, and it's only 2 days, but in 2 days they've managed to piece it together so that he looks like a credible threat, and he fits on the roster. So I think it's gonna be a good look.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And then due to that match, wanting to not be on the pre-show, and they put it later, the post-show became a sleep show for me. Unfortunately, it contained the main event, so I was in and out, so I had to watch it, obviously, the next day before I watched Raw. The Stephanie Spear was great. You know my stance on women getting hit. I love it. I think it makes heels more heels.
Statwife lost her mind when that happened. Like screamed, "Oh shit!" Like so that was awesome to see that reaction. Like that was crazy. You could see it coming a mile away, but my God.
What was her reaction when Reigns actually won? Was she like excited?
She was happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he did. Obviously, I think it had to happen this way, whether or not.
Yeah.
He got the support and the pop came up.
Exactly.
The truth is, I think it's gonna go a long way, because when we look back at this, despite the fact that Reigns didn't get over as a face the way they wanted it to, he has ensconced himself in this real heel that when it finally happens, we're gonna watch it as like. It's almost like Darth Vader's fall from, being a good guy to just finally just being a bad guy.
But it's The Rock.
Anakin Skywalker.
It's The Rock. He was a white meat babyface who was being pushed too quickly, and the fans hated it and booed the hell out of him. Die, Rocky, die. And so they used it, and they went with it. And God bless The Rock. He is one of a kind. And they gave him the ball, and he destroyed it with his mic skills. So Reigns has a long way to go that way. But that's all you need to do is take what the people just really don't like and use it against them. Make him boo him. Make everyone, because then it's playing into your show. And then whether they really don't like him, it doesn't matter. And you can't tell because everyone's booing him. And then you get the results you want. and then you can go wherever you want because people will start to like him as a heel if he's good enough, and you'll be able to get that face reaction you want down the line. So I'm perfectly fine with it. It had to go this way. He won, and kudos to them for not giving in all the time because you can't do that. Well, Daniel Bryan was a
No,
special case. That
yeah,
was
it was different.
crazy. He earned it. The crowd was way behind him. He had the storyline. Everything was there. You can't just piss away Roman Reigns and who you want him to be in the future because people right now don't like him. You can't do that.
Completely agreed, sir. I was really pleased with Mania, really pleased with Raw after Mania, and then also I can't lie, somewhat pleased that I have a break now because that was a lot of wrestling.
It's never too much wrestling, but like Raw, we got the debut of Cruz, we got the vignettes of Primo and Epico, greetings from Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm not. We got the. I did like that they mentioned the Caribbean because it makes me hope that Carlito eventually comes back. But it was awesome because I was a little bit ahead of you watching Raw, and you texted me in pure anger about the Vaudevillains debuting before Enzo and Cass, and I just laughed because I was watching Enzo and Cass in the ring right then. They were amazing. Wow. Enzo absolutely killed it.
One word to describe you. I'm gonna spell it out.
But the jokes about on Devon and he was great and perfect place to debut him. You knew the crowd was gonna go nuts, and he was on fire, and it worked perfectly.
His hair is out of control. Like, I was here. I mean, I really like him. I could see that at one point, if they ever split up, like I could see him being really good. But I was staring at his hair, and I was just like, but that at one point, like it's fine now, but at some point, there's no way that he just is going to look like that.
Yeah,
I feel like,
I mean,
I don't know.
Not everyone is, He probably has well into his 40s of similar hair.
It's just preposterous.
Oh, by the way, on SmackDown, so during that tag match, with Jericho and Owens against Zayn and Cesaro, Styles and Cesaro. Owens is about to throw Styles in for the pop-up powerbomb, and Zayn comes out like holding his arm and surrounded by agents and everything. And then they start to brawl after Styles rolls up Owens for the 3. And then him and Zayn go at it, start brawling. Good stuff.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I think that was it for anything else on Raw. That they had that really good angle with Charlotte, where everyone just walked out on her. I thought that was really good, really effective. She was great playing off the Bailey chants and all that kind of stuff. So again, she's just money right now.
Let me think if there's anything else. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got everything.
Well, I guess a little other. So, sad to hear, or I guess maybe excited. Cheap Heat duo are breaking up. Predictably, Schumacher is going over to the Ringer. So I'm looking forward to I am looking forward to a different, to having, I guess, 2 podcasts. I just hope that Schumacher gets paired up with somebody who's, watching the product and kind of knowledgeable, so that they.
Well, I mean, he's going to work with HBO, and he'll be able to get anyone and everyone. But I'm also I listen to Bill Simmons' podcast every day, like whatever podcast he has, I listen to. So he entertains the hell out of me, and he watches wrestling. He was there at Wrestlemania, so I love listening to him talk. So he can be on it as much as he wants with Shoemaker, and it'll be awesome.
It would be funny, it would have been great if Schumacher, because there was a point where they were like suddenly Schumacher shows up next to Simmons because
Why do you
Simmons was
keep
there by
calling him
himself.
Schumacher, not
I
Shoemaker?
don't know,
Okay,
Shoemaker.
just making sure
So,
I didn't miss something. Continue.
so it would have been amazing, or appropriately, it would have been Mage if he just had a cheap heat sign and would have been like, and then like shook Simmons' hand like right behind the camera.
I did
But
find it like funny that he was with Simmons that whole time, and I know they're boys, so whatever. But it's so cool because like he's gonna be the art director also, and that's cool that Simmons hired him at Grantland, gave him that big break, and now is giving him another big break, and like Bill Simmons had a podcast and he had Shoemaker on for a little bit, and Shoemaker was just like,
yeah, I
"Yo,
heard
like
that.
thanks for having so much faith in me, man." Like, and that's so
Mhm.
cool to see, him get his chance to shine and move on and reunite with someone who clearly loves his work.
All right. I guess I'll touch on this briefly. So I guess some news for the podcast. Also some just personal successes. I was a referee at
A walk on ref.
I was a walk on ref over at Fighting Spirit Wrestling here in Brooklyn, where I'm currently sitting in, and it was just an amazing experience. Just it was, fun working with all the guys. Kind of surreal to be on the other side of the barricade, as they say. One thing is to be a smart fan, another thing is to be standing next to somebody that you were just sitting there paying to see a couple months before. And also, just for some news for the podcast, I will be getting some unfettered access to the superstars of Fighting Spirit Wrestling. So you guys might hear some of them on the show in the near future. Not until next show, most likely. If you live in the area, you should go over to fightingspiritwrestling.com and take a look at their website for their tickets to the show on May 6th, which is the Lucha Libre Extravaganza, because I feel like you have to say extravaganza and not extravaganza. I don't know why, but it's actually going to be really cool. There's like a 5-way match with some Lucha legends. Lince Dorado, he's going to be part of the global cruiserweight series. He's got signed to WWE for that, so he's actually going to be there. And Kevin Matthews, they have like a NWO-esque group kind of taken over, where a bunch of indie guys have signed on, and whether or not they're with them at that night, they're kind of like this ever expanding group. So, I mean, ever since we went to the first show in December, I think it's just been that much more enjoyable, and it's a fun night. $3 beers. You really can't go wrong. Can't go wrong if you live in Brooklyn. If you live in Jersey, might be a long drive, but Brooklyn, you should take a chance and take a look at them over there. And hopefully you'll be at the next show.
Hopefully.
All right, this would be great news. So I think Ring of Honor. We talked about Cabana, and really the show was kind of just a leftover taping from before Supercard of Honor. So it was okay, but nothing really that I felt
mattered
was really mattered. So I enjoyed I always enjoy watching it, but I'm looking forward to when they kind of come out with some of the Supercard stuff and move forward with my boy Cole Cabana back on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I mean that'll be cool. I'm happy for him to finally get back there.
Boom, boom.
I know he's spoken like against it for so long, and in a couple of the recent podcasts, he was kind of like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like it is some new people, and they are doing some new things. So I'm glad to see him go back. I don't know how big a fan I am of him in the main event, but I like the guy. I enjoy his work. So it is what it is for now. He's not going to stay in the main event, I don't think.
No,
but it's enjoyable.
Should be fun.
Yeah, I mean it definitely will.
All right. So you got anything else?
No, sir. Oh, yes, actually I do. So I mentioned this before, but what if Reigns beats Styles. He beats Cesaro. Maybe Ambrose could be the other cog in this wheel, but maybe he beats Ambrose, and then at say SummerSlam, the heel Roman Reigns goes against the babyface Seth Rollins,
Nuclear.
and maybe like babyface Rollins is the guy who like stops Reigns, and we go from there.
Nuclear. I mean, that's like that's Hogan. Hogan Slaughter.
Reigns and Ambrose heal up and beat the hell out of face Rollins. That's it. That's what I'm calling.
That's Jake the Snake crashing Macho Man's wedding. Like that's amazing levels of I want to see this guy lose, and I'm rooting hard for this other guy. Like, I will be upset, and that's why they shouldn't let Reigns lose it right away. I will be upset when he beats Rollins. I will.
Yeah, it will. It will make for great TV and enjoyment.
Looking forward.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, let me get into the wrap up because it takes about half an hour. All right. So just wanted to thank you guys, as always, for listening to the podcast. No matter what channel you're listening to, if you guys could run over to iTunes, take a quick second, leave us a comment, rate us, subscribe. We'd love to have enough ratings so that we actually have like a rating. Like it says there are not enough ratings. So just go over, click. It takes like 2 seconds. Send us an email over at runningwildpodcast@gmail.com. Don't like to email? No problem. Take a look at us on Twitter. You can follow us on Running Wild LWOS. You can cough during the last 30 seconds of the podcast. You can also check me out over LWOS Rich on Twitter. You can click on the wrestling articles at lastwordonsports.com/wrestling. You can find us through our partnership with lastwordonsports.com under their banner in iTunes. You can also find us on the W2M network. Follow them on Facebook. And you can find us on our own channel on iTunes. You can find us on Spreaker. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on SoundCloud. And you can even find us on YouTube. Oh, actually, exciting news. I know I'm really going long. Thanks for showing me the counter of how long I'm going. This doesn't make it better. And the last thing I'll say, exciting news, we are also on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, search up Running Wild Podcast, Running Wild on Wrestling, and you can just like us and follow our page there. We'll be posting a lot of fun stuff and some pictures and photos and such. And now I've gone officially 1 minute and 23 seconds with this spiel. So I'm going to cut it short there and just remind you guys that you've been listening to the podcast that is just too sweet.